What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, and back with some more Savoy, and we're returning to Savoy Songbook Volume 1 for another track that is not on any of their previous albums, and that is the amusingly and perhaps paradoxically titled Barefoot in a Denim Jacket. And I say that because the two sides of it are seemingly at odds in the sense that to be barefoot is to be without footwear, whether just socks or indeed shoes or boots. And you normally say that about people in situations where the opposite would be expected, meaning you don't typically talk about someone being barefoot in bed, even if people almost always are. You talk about people being barefoot when they're outside, or on a surface where footwear of some kind would be more expected, and therefore you're highlighting the fact that they have direct contact with their skin, their feet, and whatever ground they are upon. So again, you tend to hear that more about people when they're outside. But to wear a denim jacket is to be clothed in a way that does suggest being outside and protected against the elements. Denim has a degree of durability, it has a degree of protection, not only from, let's say, some sort of physical contact, but from the elements. It provides a degree of warmth. It also makes me think of the joke in the original Super Troopers movie that a denim jacket is one part of a Canadian tuxedo. My apologies to Ryan, Yvonne, and any other Canadians who may see this. But yeah, it feels like there's a bit of contradiction or a dichotomy where if you're barefoot, you're not prepared as you normally would be for the elements for some environment that is not a domestic dwelling, but you are wearing a denim jacket, meaning you are prepared in a different respect or in a different part of your body. So yeah, there's a bit of a rustic, rural, outdoor feels to it. I suppose being barefoot outdoors is more common in a rural setting. You're out in a field somewhere, you're in the grass somewhere, whereas if you're walking down a city street barefoot, it's seen as a bit more odd, and you'll get looks as to, what's wrong with this person? Why would they be doing that? And again, a denim jacket is not exactly a jacket that you see in corporate buildings very often or at, city street corners. I suppose that's more likely. But still, a denim jacket feels more like a jacket for the outdoors, for a rural area. So there's a very vivid and specific visual scene painted of a person and the way they are dressed or indeed clothed. But there's also a bit of an ambiguity or a mystery as to why they would have a denim jacket on but bare feet. So with all that chatter established, let's give it a listen. This is Savoy. The track is Barefoot in a Denim Jacket, and it's from their 2007 Songbook Volume 1 release.
Comes to see you, you rise to greet her, she wants some answers, such lines you feed her, she's unafraid what will unfold, she'll go down any conversation.
sonically, I like that one. Lyrically, I have next to no clue what's happening. I mean, there was the verse in the beginning which I heard a bit more clearly, and am intrigued by even so, given that it seemed to be saying it was the woman who was approaching, and maybe she's the one who's barefoot in a denim jacket, but she has a lot of questions, she wants answers, she'll go down any conversational path, so it sounds like someone who is seeking information and is willing to do whatever it takes to get that, even if it perhaps means asking uncomfortable questions. I'm not sure. I mean, that part is more interpretive. I didn't hear that specifically, but just the phrasing of some of the lines in that first verse sounds like it's a bit of an intense experience. It does feel like whatever the essence of the barefoot and denim jacket wearing guise or behavior, that she's a bit of a unique character. She's someone who is, off the beaten path or not like other people and is being described in that way. But then there's lines about like sunshine coming down from her hair, so it sounds like there is an allure, there is some radiance to her. But there's a couple other lines that I'm not quite sure how to process. I will say the chorus, I enjoyed it, but it felt almost like it could have been a bit crisper. Like the production on some other Savoy songs has been more pronounced and more vivacious. It sounded like it was a bit washed out, not in a bad way, and I think musically I enjoyed the chorus, maybe not quite as much as the verses and that syncopated sort of interlude, but I did enjoy the sonics of the chorus. It just felt like they lacked a bit of production oomph, to borrow a line from the Spinal Tap, or This Is Spinal Tap movie, which I just did a watch along for on my Patreon for those who might be interested but didn't notice that or didn't see that. It sounds like they needed to turn the speakers or the half stack amplifiers up to 11. It just felt like there was a bit more sonically that we could have gotten from those moments. But yes, I do enjoy Lauren singing here. I know again, like, the Savoy fan base seems to be hit or miss. It just depends on the song and her particular delivery. I certainly didn't find this one to be undesirable, where there's been, a couple moments where it's like the way she hit something in that super high, like younger style voice, maybe it didn't suit the moment perfectly, but I think here she does sound good. As I said, it was just like the chorus needed a bit more polishing, even if I enjoy the actual music of it. But again, the verses I think had a really good sound. I enjoyed there were some bass things. There was that one moment where there was, I don't know if it was like distorted guitar, maybe it was something on the keyboard like a synth, but it got a bit dissonant and like edgy, like a bit rough, and it was just for a moment and then it sort of evaporated and the tune went on. But that moment really stuck out to me for being a bit edgy. And yeah, as I said, I don't really know what's happening lyrically, certainly beyond that initial portrait description of this woman who, again, I think is the one dressed in the manner of the title, though even that I'm not entirely certain about. But yeah, a compelling tune. I enjoyed maybe the previous two non-album tracks a bit more than this, and yet I still think this would have been a worthy inclusion on one of their albums. So at this moment, I'm unsure if any of the remaining tracks are originals. I know there were a couple where I searched and I was like, wait, I did react to that, right? And I typed it into my YouTube studio and it's like, yep, I did react to that. So I do remember specifically that Graham said the re-recording of Whalebone is notable, and he was saying, I'm not even sure which version I like better, which recording of it. So at least for a couple of the tracks, we'll go through the alternate recording and just see, any sonic differences that I can catch on a first listen. But again, I've enjoyed the Savoy journey, and it's not like going into the deep dive. Not only had I never heard of Savoy, even though I had by then become well familiar with Aha, but I've enjoyed the degree of difference. And that's not to say that Mag's material isn't different from Aha or Morton's solo material isn't different from Aha, because both of those side journeys absolutely do have distinction in terms of some sonic differences between the main Aha catalog. But I would say Savoy is the most different relative to the admittedly wide-ranging and evolving Aha sound over the course of their discography. But it's been fun, and again, the way that they started out with a real kind of alternative rock sound, But then by the time you get to Lackluster Me, there's definitely an evolution and a shift and some more electronic sounds. And then going on up into the present with Under, I've enjoyed the Savoy journey in particular because it's just something that I had no basis for, even though I had become pretty familiar with Aha by that point. So shout out to Paul, shout out to Lauren, and shout out to the folks who've helped guide me through not only the overall Aha journey, but the Savoy subset or sub-journey in particular. Obviously with Graham sending the music, but all manner of folks have commented on this journey as we've gone through it. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Peace.